In the last video, we focused mainly on the footings to add support to the patio cover. This video is mainly working on the foundation of the roofing system, and I'm going to start off with making some supports. If you wanted to see how I made the roof trusses and or the concrete footings, click on these links above. Now here I'm just getting the overall size and measuring to make sure that I have everything set up the way that I want. I'm adding a gap at the top so that way I can add a beam to connect the front and the rear roof truss. Now this Ryobi nailer saves me a lot of time, and I understand why people love these automated nailers. And even though I like to take my time, if I was on a job or time constraints, I would definitely forego the nail and hammer when I had to and use the electric nailer. So just like the first one, I'm adding support to the second roof truss. This is the one that's going in the rear. Okay, in this segment of the video, you can actually see me nailing the support for the crossbeam. All right, the techniques that I use as far as utilizing the ladder, I want to talk about a couple things. If you are not comfortable with doing this, I would not recommend it. I made sure the ladder was stable enough for me to walk and the ground was level. And I also took a snail's pace. I wasn't in a rush, and I took my time to make sure that I was completely balanced. Also, I pre-prepped my clamps because the clamps are going to do most of the work in holding the roof truss to the top. Now here you can see me placing and getting it in a nice fit and alignment, and I'm just getting a feel for it, making sure that it is placed exactly how I like it. All right, time to get that first clamp on. Now, surprisingly, it was sturdy enough, and this being a solo build, I wouldn't be able to do this part without having those clamps. And it really helped to have everything pre-painted and pre-built. So I do recommend that step as well. I'm just stepping back here to get a good look at the overall view of the patio cover, and I like where it was sitting at. And so I'm ready to clamp the whole thing down. But you want to make sure you eyeball everything, make sure everything's aligned properly, and make sure you're taking good measurements when you're pre-building. And like I said, I wanted this to be built that way it could be uh, broken down into about 10 different parts just in case I had to move it and take it to another site or location. So here I'm just clamping all the ends, and it's surprisingly sturdy enough. Getting that one last look before I go ahead and bolt it in. All right. Now, if you wanted specific measurements, probably later on in the video, I'll leave it in the description. But this is just to give you an idea. I've got 4 lag bolts, 2 exterior bolts, and some long screws. So this is basically what I use to assemble the entire patio cover, at least the wood structure part. Now, in this part here, my bit was not long enough to go all the way through, and I recommend drilling from the bottom and getting a long enough bit. And I'll definitely invest in a longer bit for next time. But also, you're going to see later on where I had some issues. So, for example, right here, if you look at the top, it's angular, so I had to kind of cheat that hole and then get it through. Now, uh, secondly, here's another issue I had. Enough height for me to get leverage to throw that hammer in. You can see me hammering from the side of the hammer. Now, I know you're probably questioning, well, why I want a hammer in this corner. It's the perfect distance I wanted, which was about 2 feet from the end of the patio cover. And I feel like that would give me a stronger hold and bond in that area. I could have slid down more, but I don't think the ends would have been that stable. All right, so the same thing I do to the front, and I'm going to be doing to the back.
Okay, give you a quick tour here. Got the first side up, second side up. I didn't film the middle only because that was a little balancing act. I had to figure out how I was going to get it up there. I basically clamped a shelf on each side and then screwed it in with 3 screws on each end. So next up, we got to install these. I got to finish painting these. We got to install these on each side and then the steel siding. Overall, it's looking great. Got the concrete footings down on each side. And I'm gonna pretty those up, add some wood planking, and make those look really nice. All right, it's almost at the home stretch.
All right, on the next video, we're going to be adding the support beams in between each part of the roofing, and then the next video will be adding the roofing material. Guys, I really appreciate you supporting the channel, and if you would like to find out more information about CLO Design and Ed, click on the description and the links below. Thank you so much, take care, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.